And hello, hello, hello. Welcome to ISC Week 5. This is a Div C match between DSC and SRJ. Don't ask me what those teams stand for, because I don't know. Just waiting for both teams to ready up, and then we will get started. Alrighty, both sides are ready. Let's get to it. Oopsies, wrong teams. There we go. Ooh, let's see if I remember all the overlays. Alrighty, so on the Dark Sea Corsairs side, actually we're going to go with the Sky Rangers of Terra side, we have Black Cayman in the Arrow, Local Man Steel's Mech in the Javelin 11F, 3 more Javelin 11Fs, Crusader, and an Enforcer. So, 4 MG mechs, either of which can be running LMGs or HMGs. Let's actually find out. I did not know I could click on the map to go somewhere. Interesting. So Blackjack's running LMGs, so range, support, and where... Oh, actually, let's go back over there before we finish this. Javelins are also running LMGs. So Sky Rangers of Terra is going to try to keep a lot more range and just plink with LMGs at the enemy before they can close. Meanwhile, on the Dark Sea Corsairs side, we have House in the Blackjack A, Royal Star in the Firestarter A, Osiris, Black Knight, Firestarter, Spider. So with the Spider and the Firestarter, it does leave a little bit more of a close range engagement, as I can clearly see these Firestarters do not have light peeps. Arrow is running LMGs. What is the Black Knight running? Black Knight is running Laser Vomit. Now, the Black Knight is a bit of an interesting pick because... well, it's not a very tanky mech. It's got a lot of armor quirks. It's got a lot of, like, raw hit points, but its survivability is quite poor. So I'm very surprised to see the Black Knight played on the field. Now then, Sky Rangers of Terra, just holding top of map coverage, just trying to take range and plink with as much damage as they can. Give me 2 seconds. Sorry about that. Yep. And plink away with as much damage as they can. I'm sorry, folks. I don't have my controller set up for this cast, so the camera is super jumpy. I'm going to get that fixed here in just a moment after this match. So yeah, one thing you're going to notice immediately is that Dark Sea Corsairs has the 2-cap, so they actually don't have to move in and fight at all. And that's just because as long as the caps swing their way on timeout, they win. So right now the onus is on Sky Rangers of Terra to actually move in. As you can see, they are trying to close. They do have a bit of a range advantage though, so it's a little interesting to see the LMG mechs walking forward. One thing to note is that if you fall out of the map in this little part here, you just die. Ooh, I forgot to turn on names. There we go. Fork Spoon in the Javelin seemed to be making a play for Epsilon, only to realize it's covered, but now he's on the ground, which means he's a very gankable target. But instead of rushing to defend Epsilon, Dark Sea Corsairs are just taking the center. They don't seem to be interested in defending their 2-cap. they're not even moving to hit the stragglers. They're just going in. What does the Enforcer have? Enforcer's running LBX2s. Okay, I actually don't agree with that build, mainly because when you're in a range fight, one thing you need to deal range damage is precision, and the LBX2s don't really offer that, especially against smaller, faster light mechs. So I actually disagree with the LBX2 build there. I think 4 AC2s or 4 UAC2s would have been a much stronger choice on the Enforcer. But of course, I can only say that if they lose. If they win, then I will say that the unoptimal build did not make a difference. Sky Rangers are sort of setting up wide in order to defend their 2-cap. Like I said, if you have the 2-cap here, then you can pretty much just sit for the entirety of the map. And for those of you who don't know, the ISC rules, the Inner Coalition only allows for 3 caps on the map. Gamma and Sigma are off limits, so that's why nobody's taking it. For those of you who are not familiar with the ISC rule set. Merc J seems to be making a run for Kappa, but he's been spotted. Is he going to commit to it? He will have no cover if he goes for Kappa, which will allow all these LMG mechs to just plink away at him for free. Fork is actually dropping to take that fight. I'm not sure I agree with that. He may have Overwatch, but still, dropping to take the fight is the least safe option. And while I'm confident that Fork can probably win this engagement, aside from a huge throw on his end, I do not think it was the wise choice here. Grey Fox taking a lot of damage in the Crusader. Let's see how he's doing. Spreading damage pretty well though. However, he's almost open CT. Another build from SRJ that, or I guess SROT, that I don't entirely agree with. Primarily because, well, that build is going to heat cap very, very, very quickly. And with, you know, the ERPPC small laser or snub small laser Crusader, you have those 12 small lasers when you're in a brawl, which will give you almost infinite DPS up close. Meanwhile, his build with the 6 smalls, 2 large pulse, and 6 ER meds, yeah, sure, it gives him a lot of range ability, but as soon as the close range fight starts, it's very difficult to maintain that DPS, and it makes the Crusader a lot of a liability. That being said, both teams are just sitting there. Nobody's lost a mech yet, and caps are swinging in favor of SROT. Or SRT. Wait a minute, I'm looking at chat and they're saying this team is Div B, not Div C. Well, you learn something every day, folks. Black Cayman's taking a lot of damage. Let's see how he's doing. We've already gained a quarter of the resources. Keep it up. Oh my goodness, my man is one touch. Now, Black Cayman just needs to hunker down and wait for the fight to start. He does not need to engage. He does not need to fight. SROT doesn't even need to do anything here unless DSC pushes, just because they can just hold on to caps and they win. So far though, oh, Black Cayman died. I don't know how I missed that, but bye. So if I were DSC, I'd feel pretty emboldened to make a push here, seeing as the Arrow is one of the highest sources of DPS on Sky Ranger's team. But DSC is hitting the cap. The LMGs are able to plink at that range, so as long as SROT has coverage, they will be able to maintain it. But yeah, so I'm really not sure. This match can still go either way. If DSC just keeps sitting there and not making a move, I could very much see this match going in favor of SROT. If DSC realize how much of a health advantage they have and just bum rush it, and not just a health advantage, a DPS advantage too. LMG javelins do not do a lot of damage up close. So if they realize the health and DPS advantage they have and just bum rush it, I think this will be a decisive DSC victory. Oh, 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 oh. DSC is running up. Royal Star is running down the Crusader to see if he can get the kill. Grey Fox tries to drop in order to survive. However, he gets shot down by the Black Knight, and now it is Fork, Local, and Gadolinium all in the javelins, doing their best to hold on, doing their best to hold the enemy at bay. However, one thing to note here is that DSC did just get the 2 cap, so all their mechs are injured and very damaged, except for the 2 fire starters. But they don't actually need to push if they don't want to. That being said, it looks like they want to. Apostle gets down Merc. Apostle does have the far angle there, but I mean, like I said, even with the far angle, LBX2s at range are not the most effective guns, so I'm a little leery about how much damage she's going to be getting down. Let's see how things are looking from his point of view. Nope, not you. Not you. Not you. There we go. Come on, Apostle. Show me some LBX shots. Oh, Apostle has 1 round left. He's gonna fire that round. Come on, Apostle, shoot that gun. Shoot the gun. But yeah, with Apostle out of ammo, I think this is a Dark Sea Corsairs win without a shadow of a doubt. Fork does fall out of bounds. If he doesn't jump up in time, he's dead. He does manage to get back up in time. Red Baron and Royal Star also fall out of bounds, but they don't have the jump jets to get up. No. No. Unbelievable. Dark Sea Corsairs just threw away 2 of their fire starters. Juked out of bounds by Fork the Spoon Wrecker. Jumps out, manages to jump back in. Oh my goodness, those fire starters. Double suicide. Fork, if that was intentional, you are a goddamn genius. If it wasn't intentional, Royal Star and Red Baron just had some of the biggest throws I've ever seen. Gadolinium fighting for his dear life. Come on, Gadolinium, I believe. Oh my goodness, is he not able to get the kill? Oh my goodness. It's one thing I gotta say about the LMGs. Not a lot of DPS in an up-close brawl. So, obviously, drop 1 goes to DSC. One thing I do have to say, though, is that this was not as much a DSC win as it was an SROT throw. Like, don't get me wrong, DSC fought for the win. They fought hard. They deserved it. But SROT, I expect better. Oh my goodness. That was rough to see that double suicide. Pull up the scoreboard here for everybody who wants to see. Oopsies. Wrong one. Hello? Oh, my bad. I forgot to log in to input these scores, so let's see if I can get that rolling. So sorry about that, folks. All right, well, while we are waiting for the next match and waiting for the stats to get put in, I am going to plug in my controller so the camera does not look as jank. Sorry, folks, give me 2 seconds. I'm trying to find my casting controller so my camera does not look like Aubin's. Oh, let's get those stats up while we're waiting. It seems match stats is back online. There we go. So as we can see, top damage on the DSC side going to Chicken Man in the Black Knight, getting the Giga Farm. And top damage is Grafe on the SRT side, Gray Fox, getting 259 and no double Ds. Good for them. Alrighty, controller is plugged in. Let's pray to God I do not have to restart MWO. Alrighty. So, looking back at the scores, not a lot of team damage. Sad. I always like to see a lot of team damage. And one thing I'm also going to point out is the Enforcer going through all of its ammo and only getting 222 damage. If you're going to bring a ranged Daka mech and it burns through all of its ammo, you have to expect more than that. Alrighty, and Team 1 is locked. Team 2 is locked. Let's get this rolling. Oh, I didn't get the team logos. Oh well. Ah, that's large. There we go. That's better than a team logo anyways. Sorry, folks. I literally walked home from work. I literally got home from work, walked in through the door, and started this stream, so... Yep. Alrighty. Crimson Straight. Now for those of you who haven't been keeping up with the comp scene, Crimson Straight recently... No, it's not accepting my controller, and I have to use the mouse again. I have to restart after this. Crimson Straight... It got its spawns and cap points swapped up, which is very interesting. The spawns are a lot more even now. Originally, it was one team started on the far east and one team started on the far west of the map. Very, very unfair spawns. A very difficult map to play due to one team being so much stronger than the other. But now, Piranha Games' Krasdax, who is their newly hired map designer, replacing Francois, has done a wonderful job at making sure that the spawns and cap points on Crimson are even. Now, let's look at the mechs. Sky Rangers of Terra, bringing a Firestarter, a Flea, Crusader, Grasshopper, Marauder. Marauder 4L, double Grasshoppers, Crusader. This is a very range-heavy, or at least mid-heavy deck. Yeah, Crusader running large laser, small vomit. So... their plan is to trade and deal a lot more damage on approach. Meanwhile, Dark Sea Corsairs has 2 Javelins out in the water. Are these LMGs or HMGs? HMGs, thank God. HMG Javelins out in the water, and then Warhammer, Hatamoto in the land side. So, what are these Hatamotos running? Hatamotos are running ACs, Warhammers are 90 and 60, so probably ER larges. So both sides are actually just going heavy into the range, along with the 2 Brawling Lights. So pretty even drop decks on either side, and let's see how it plays out. Let's see, is anybody getting a lot of trades right now? Hollow taking a little bit of fire. Obviously took a PPC shot from the Marauder. Decided he didn't want to take that and is backing off. Hollow going in through the city. The Javelins, Royal Star and Merc J have been spotted on approach, so their wide maneuver does have to pull back a little. Sky Rangers, realizing they now know where all 6 mechs are going to make a free play for Kappa. I mean, not Kappa, Theta, which will give them the 2 cap. Now, a big thing here is that they're sending 3 mechs to Theta, or 2 and then 1 on Overwatch. If Darksea Corsairs realizes this and they push, they'll have a heavy advantage, but they need to get ready to move right now if it happens. And is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? It's not gonna happen. Oh well. I would have loved to see the push from Darksea Corsairs to take that 4v2 fight, but yeah. Well, let's see. Darksea kind of consolidating. I'm not really sure what for. And both sides have now grouped up their 6, and yeah. Come on, teams. Let's see some action. Let's see some action. Darksea Corsairs is making a full-on commit to Theta. I want to say it's been scouted. Who's this over here? Panzazo. Yeah, he scouted it. He scouted it. He's going in to fight for Theta. Nope, he decides to back off. Opening shots, the Warhammer's getting lines on the Firestarter, getting some early damage, but still no damage so far. I'm going to fall asleep if this does not fix itself soon. I need action, not range snooze fest. I say as the next drop is Alpine Peaks. If the last 2 drops are Alpine Peaks, I need some action on my Crimson Straight drops. Apostle Burke going up top to get some lines. A Crusader with only 3 ER larges is going to have to expose and burn the same time as a Warhammer with 5. That's one of the reasons why the ER PPC or Snub Crusader is so much better, because it can pop tart. With those 3 ER larges, he's going to have to trade at a severe disadvantage. Apostle, do you see the smoke on you? I guess you don't. Fork going back to reclaim Theta. Come on, Javelins, you should have stayed and fought. No. I want action. Javelins are coming back. Javelins are going to fight for Theta. Javelins are going to fight for Theta. Is it brawl time? Is it brawl time? Is it brawl? Come on, come on, come on. Stay and defend the cap. No! Why do you do this to me? Alright, Merc J is going to get the cap. Cap's getting denied, but Merc J at least managed to neutralize it. Black Cayman's coming in the Grasshopper for support. Grey Fox has finally decided to grace us with his presence. And so far, no significant damage still. Okay, I stand corrected. Merc down to 70%. I guess a health lead to Sky Rangers of Terra and a cap lead to Sky Rangers of Terra, but so far, this match has been critical Resident Sleeper. Though I guess all it does take is that Marauder to get a single good shot on the Javelin's legs, and then things change very quickly. Actually, speaking of that, how are things going for that Marauder? Getting some strike hits. Not really shooting his targets. I'd say he won that exchange. And of course, just remember that even though we can see the blue glow of his enemy mechs, he does not see that as well, so difficult times are ahead. How's everybody else looking? Fork the Spoon Wrecker is looking fine. House. Oh, wait a minute. These are mid-range Vomit Warhammers. They're not even ER larges. Oh my goodness. I think this may just be a loss in the mech lab then. Skippy Nibbles is open side as soon as that's... actually, no, it's the wrong side. Never mind. Oh, whoa. Lights are coming in from behind. Javelins have gone through the tunnel to engage the Marauder. However, Merc is open side. And are they not going for legs? Oh no, Merc is halved. Merc is down, and now it's just Royal Star. However, the other Dark Sea Corsair mechs are going in. Royal Star is just going to try to play his life. The Vomit Warhammers are coming in. House gets halved. That's going to cripple his DPS. Black Cayman just staying alive for as long as he can. Fork the Spoon Wrecker getting back shots in the Flea. And Dark Sea Corsairs is stalling out on the push. That's a critical loss of momentum that I think is going to cost them the match, or at least put the nail in the coffin. I don't see them winning this anymore. Royal Star gets dropped by Gadolinium, and yeah, I think that's it. I think Dark Sea Corsairs have won this match. Apostle Burke drops House, and then Chicken Band gets dropped. And now it's just down to Hollow and Skippy, of which I do not have much faith in these two to clutch out a 2v5. Fork coming in behind to get the back shots on Hollow. Panzazo coming behind to get the back shots on Skippy. Hollow is stripped. And now it's just kill the Hatamoto Chi, put him out of his misery. And that is GG. In favor of Sky Rangers of Terra. Let's get these stats loaded up. All right, stats. Oof. One thing you're immediately going to notice is both of the Javelins failing to crack 200 damage on their rear attack. Apostle Burke getting 681 damage in the Corsair. Gadolinium getting 590 damage in the Marauder 4L. Black Cayman getting 528 damage in the Grasshopper. 208 from the Flea. 349 from the Grasshopper and 234 from the Firestarter. Meanwhile, top damage on DSC being 500 in his Hatamoto, with second place going 417 to Skippy in his Hatamoto. Interesting. Skippy survived a lot longer, and yet he didn't get top damage. Alrighty, so let me make sure that my setup is fixed before I rejoin the lobby. Oh my goodness, I didn't realize DSC only got 1 kill. I think the Javelin's coming from behind. If they chose any target except for the Marauder, they would have had a better shot at getting a kill. However, the Marauder 4L, when it's got full health and full skills, it's like 200 damage. It's like 170 damage per leg. And even with HMG Javelins, alrighty. That is much better. There we go. Alrighty. Let's get back in the lobby. Okay, so, Brawl, even though ER large range control is definitely the Crimson Straight comp meta, there is definitely room for Brawl on this map if you bring fast IS mechs. I'm talking about the Hellspawn, the Dervish, Hellspawn, Dervish, Dragon, Crusader. These are all very strong push mechs. However, the push can be a little bit harder to take off, and it requires a little bit more map awareness. So it's definitely acceptable for these teams to play the ER large decks. I actually will give it a little bit of flack towards DSC for bringing 2 mid-range Vomit Warhammers and then setting up for a map control strat. That is actually quite a big throw. If you have mid-range Vomit Warhammers, the way ISC really should have done, the way DSC really should have played it out was the moment they saw somebody taking Kappa, they just run straight in and go for the top hill and take that 4v6. That is absolutely how they should have played out that match, especially with their mid-range builds that have more DPS. And I think not going for that was the start of their loss. Of course, that's the end of the last match. Let's see how this match goes. Cicada, Hatamoto, Vulcan. Aside from the Cicada, this is a very, very strong deck. Like, incredibly powerful. Daka Hatamotos are one of the strongest Daka assaults in the game right now. So I really can't say anything bad about that. Next, right now, I've often called it, well, after I started to call it the IS Viper, simply because of the amount of power it brings. If you bring triple Vulcan to a deck, that's kind of where you lose me. Let's see what's on it. Oh my goodness, I'm just trying to click on the mech. Stop it. There we go. Triple large. Okay, so one thing is that its offensive quirks are good. It is not a lot of DPS. But the Cicada, of all the medium mech, and tankiness in the game, which is why I wholeheartedly do not endorse that mech. Dark Sea Corsairs, La Malinche, Vulcan, Grasshopper, Black Knight. La staple, a little bit more unconventional due to the poor hitboxes in sheer firepower and quirks. Vulcans and Hatamoto pushing the platform, all trying to push beneath. Hollow and House caught in the middle here, and even with their mid-range Vomit builds, I do not expect them to be able to win essentially 2v3 here, especially against a Hatamoto. Red Baron is running in to help. Hollow taking serious damage in his grasshopper. Red Baron dropping behind, but his Vulcan has only snubs. It's got no HMGs, so it's not gonna be able to deal a lot of damage. Let's see how Grey Fox is doing. That's not Grey Fox. Oh, Hollow drops. To be expected, the man took a lot of damage on approach. However, this is just a massive clusterfuck here of Sky Rangers of Terra mechs as they are all trying to close in. Loco Man Steel's mech takes a lot of damage. He is actually stripped, so it is effectively a 5v5. Loco Man Steel's mech might just be walking off to get Theta. If I were him, I would have stayed to tank for his team, but that is fine. Metafox is just running in, trying to take that fight, but he is alone, which is a bit of a critical misplay. Merc J's in the large pulse Vulcan, not the best pick for this close range scenario, but you know what? It's still a powerful mech. Oh, I have the glitch where it says House is still alive. But one thing I am going to point out here is that Sky Rangers is going to take a lot of damage if they leave cover here, and that's all thanks to Chicken Man in the La Malinche has the strongest range quirk in the game at 25%, making it able to outrange any other mech in the game, plus a ERP PPC HSL, giving it the incredibly powerful build of 3 ER peeps and a Goss, which means that the range Overwatch Chicken Man can fire from the island is absolutely unbelievable. And if Sky Rangers of Terra is not careful, Chicken Man is just going to farm them all into oblivion. Sky Rangers of Terra trying to take top. The stick Tadamoto, Loco Man Steel's mech, almost at Theta. So, you know, he'll get it eventually. And then they'll at least give them the 2 cap. Fork loses an arm. He's trying a little too hard to make pokes. I would just recommend that they sit down and let the cap swing their way as soon as the Hatamoto gets Theta. Let's see what things are looking like from Chicken Man's end. Chicken Man trying to line up the shots. Oh, just barely giving the Vulcan a haircut. There we go. That was a clean hit. Chicken Man still going for the range shots. Oh, getting a back shot on the Cicada. Yeah, Chicken Man's definitely going to outdamage everybody else in this game. And look at that range, though. 134 meters optimal. Absolutely unbelievable. Oh. Chicken Man's not going to get a lot of shots on the Cicada. Needs to try to get angles on something else. Ooh. Cicada's playing with fire. Full control of all sides. However, Dark Sea Corsairs can't really just sit here. They gotta get a kill. They gotta get a cap something. Red Baron and Royal Star have realized that Gamma is completely unguarded, and they're going to grab that. That'll bring the 2 cap back in their favor. Fork still taking damage. My god, man. Just sit down and cover. Don't get shot. It's a very simple task.
They have resource point Gamma.
Fork, you're playing with fire. Dark Sea Corsairs can absolutely sit here, though. And as long as that La Malinche is on the island, they're going to have a lot of trouble trying to close and get any damage in. However, Cicada are coming in to reinforce Gamma, trying to get early shots to scare off. I don't know about you, but I definitely wouldn't be afraid of a Cicada. But let's see if Sky Rangers is able to reclaim the cap. I don't know if the Banshee has lines onto Theta itself. I don't think it does. Very interesting to see how slow both these teams are playing. Black Cayman stepping onto the cap along with Metafox. It's been made neutral.
We have Gamma.
Royal Star and Red Baron are running back to see if they can get it back. Oh, Royal Star's veering. Sky, as long as Sky Ranger sits here with the cap lead, is willing to push the two Hatamotos here. I don't see how Dark Sea wins this. Dark Sea needs to push and take a cap, and this ain't it.
Halfway to victory. We need to keep holding on to our resource points. The enemy is at 25%.
Royal Star deciding not to go for the cap. Oh, Red Baron is one shot from dead in the rear. Cicada once again getting ER large overwatch. A small laser back up to the snub. I guess I have seen everything. Royal Star coming in to pick the fight against Metafox and Black Cayman. Let's see how this fight goes. Slight health advantage towards Metafox and Black Cayman. However, absolute DPS advantage towards the Dark Sea mechs here, as it snubs against an ER large Cicada. Alright. Caps are about to reach the point where they are critical, and the behind team needs to make a play. So Dark Sea needs to make the kill here. Dark Sea is so blood hungry, they've run past Gamma, and they are about to give the enemy a 3 cap. Unless Merc... unbelievable. Merc J flicking Gamma. However, Kappa is going to be flipped at the same time. Chicken Man looking to get a line on Kappa, but unable to stop the cap, it seems. And oh my goodness, I think unless Dark Sea Corsairs manages to sweep all the mechs inside of a minute and a half, Sky Ranger.
They have resource point Gamma.
Dark Sea backing up to consolidate on Gamma, but it's too little, too late. They already ran past the cap and wasted far too much time. And how's Gray Fox looking? Yeah, unless Chicken Man manages to hit that back shot, there's no way he gets it in time. And Gray Fox seems to know Chicken Man is coming. Yep. Gray Fox is stripped. Now, is he going to step on the cap and waste time? He is. Chicken Man is shooting the other Hatamoto. No. Chicken Man, that's throwing. Chicken Man, you need to kill Gray Fox. Yeah, I think that's it. I think it's GG. That is a Sky Rangers victory for drop 3. Chicken Man. What Chicken Man needed to do was to kill Hollow and hide from gadolinium and take back Kappa. By stalling Kappa this long, SROT has absolutely confirmed the win. Red Baron, get the kill. Red Baron, get the kill. Red Baron, get the kill. Red Baron, no! He's one shot, he's one shot! There we go. I was going to be very worried if he didn't. Oh, Chicken Man still not able to get the kill. Unbelievable loss there. With SROT getting drop 3. Alright, Chicken Man. Let's see how much you farmed. Alrighty. Chicken Man with the 1,193 damage, farming the Hatamoto cheese into oblivion. Hollow getting 112 in his Grasshopper. Loco Man Steel's Mech getting 183 in his Hatamoto, with Gadolinium getting 622 in his Hatamoto. So, one thing I think that really emphasizes there is that it is a very powerful strategy in comp that if you manage to hold the 3 caps, or if you manage to hold a 2 cap in ISC's case, and you want to go for a cap win and stall for time, you can very much trade armor from doing that. SROT let Chicken Man farm almost 1,200 damage in a 6v6 comp match. 1,200 damage. But in exchange, SROT just very convincingly won that drop via caps. DSC was unable to get any map control, any cap points, any awareness whatsoever. So even though Chicken Man was able to farm all that damage, even though he was able to beat down so many SROT mechs, SROT was just able to trade their mechs, trade their armor, and trade their lives to come out to a cap win. So I think SROT played that very well. I think DSC played that a little bit poorly by not seeing what's occurring and going for the initiative sooner, especially when DSC was pinning them down on the platform. As long as Chicken Man has Overwatch on the platform, DSC can push in or get as much control as much as they like. So at the end of the day, wonderfully played by SROT. DSC, you guys just need to work a little quicker on getting the initiative quicker and just sort of seeing the writing that's on the wall in order to understand what's going on and understand how taking the initiative quicker would have won you that match. 2 seconds. Now we're going to Alpine Peaks, which is probably the most range-heavy map in the game, if I'm being honest. Let me pull up my map strat here. Let me get my map stratty. There we go. Hey, it's already on Alpine Peaks. Go me. How do I clear the map strat? How do I clear it? Hello? There we go. All right. So one thing I'm immediately going to say about Alpine, it is the most range heavy map in the game, but there are a few key spots that every team needs to take in order to win. For Team 1, I'm going to make it blue here. That would be the hill over Theta here, control over Sigma, and if you really want to, you can put an extreme range mech over here on the G4 hill. That is a place where a mech like the La Malinche really starts to shine due to the extreme range. Team 2, you're often looking at the K6 L6 hill, the K6 J6 hill, maybe K4, maybe Sigma control, and you know, Team 1's always going to get Epsilon for free. Team 2 is always going to get Kappa for free. And Alpine, what it really breaks down to is who gets Sigma first. If your team gets Sigma first, you can sort of sit back, avoid trades, just hold those caps, and you can make the enemy have to push you. And that can be a very powerful advantage because you can just make sure they hemorrhage the armor here. So that is a very powerful play. I'm going to say that Team 1 typically has a very slight advantage on getting Sigma. The times it takes for your lights to get there are relatively the same, but Team 1 can typically set up Overwatch on Sigma just a little bit quicker. And one thing I'm also going to point out here is the I9 and H8 hills. These are two heavily contested spots. Teams don't always send mechs up to there, but mechs like an ERP, PPC Vulcan, Panther, Blackjack, sometimes even a Warhammer 9D. Those are all very, very powerful, very long range mechs to put up there. You typically want ERPPC so you can trade against ER large boats at an advantage. But one thing that I am going to say is that whoever wins the I9 hill, if there's a fight there, the team who wins the I9 hill will almost always win the match. The I9 hill is one of the strongest control points you can get if played correctly. But with that out of the way, let's get this match started. Oh, for Christ's sake. Darksea Corsairs running triple LRM Fafnir, a Raven with Narc, a Pirate's Bane, most likely Stealth, and a Crusader. Sky Rangers of Terra running a much more conventional drop deck: Corsair, Stalker, Cicada, and Locust. Now, the Stalker is arguably the strongest IS large mech in the game right now. Arguably the strongest, being able to outclass every clan mech as well. The Corsair is eerily similar to a Direwolf, being at the fact that it carries large and Goss, and it's tanky, has a lot of armor, and also some of the worst hitboxes you'll see in Assault. This is the 3F. Never mind, he brought larges, even though it's got PPC quirks. Constitutes as a loss in.
We have gained Epsilon.
Hill, a very strange place, seeing as he's about 2,000 meters away from the nearest target. I'd actually say 3. I'd say he's 3,000 meters away from the nearest mech. Raven running a narc. I want to know if that Raven's stealth. Raven's not stealth. Is the Locust stealth? Locust is stealth with ER meds and LMGs. Okay. One thing I am going to point is that if this Raven manages to narc the Corsair and the Fafnir somehow gets in range, while I'm sure Sky Rangers have at least scouted at least 2 of the Fafnirs, they may not have Lerms yet. On Alpine, I'm going to know it's only Lerms because no one is going to... There's a chance that they don't know yet. Merc J is taking way too much damage in the Raven. He's trying to poke at range, which he absolutely should. Even have ER, which means to get a narc. He does not need to trade. He's not going to deal any damage. He has a 15-point alpha strike and a 500-meter range. House trying to cross and taking an absolutely awful amount of damage in his Crusader. Once again, the ER large Crusader. Their ER large decks, especially since he probably won't get he probably won't get close enough to bring his ER smalls to bear. It's not the Raven, is it? I'm gonna see. It is the Raven holding the lock. The Raven putting that sensor range quirk to use. Gadolinium is unable to do pretty much any damage to the Raven. Meanwhile, the Raven is just holding locks at extreme range. However, Gadolinium does manage to walk out of LRM range and survive. That being said, a Goss Corsair is looking at the Raven, and the Raven is not a tanky mech, so he needs to back up and play it careful. Of course, these Corsairs can't. Going to be running Goss and ER large. Black Cayman trying to push in, trying to get within the Fafnir's minimum range. The Fafnir is trying to back up. However, if Black Cayman tries to push the Fafnir here, the other Lerm boats will be able to hit him. Merc J needs to stop trying to trade. He's in an ER med Raven. He does 0 damage up close. I'm quite certain he has negative DPS. However, Black Cayman is now inside the minimum range of the Fafnir. And Merc J is doing all he can to save it, but with only 3 ER meds. Yeah, good luck to that. I wonder if he managed to... Firing back on him. Hollow, you're not looking so hot. Oh my goodness. Hollow's one-touch CT certified Fafnir moment. When you are one-touch CAT and unable to shield damage because your mech has the biggest CT in the game. So Hollow's not long for this world. In fact, everybody in Dark Sea Corsairs is damaged, except for the Pirate's Bane. Oh, I bet it's just running around in stealth. Let's find out. Yes. Uh-oh, uh-oh. He's trying to trade against 2 ER large Overwatch mechs. Leg is open, leg is open. Ooh, that was a very bad trade from Red Baron. Going out there, pretty much almost cost him his mech. That was a critical mistake because as soon as he's legged, it is over for that mech. one of the... And Red Baron goes down. Oh, Chicken Man and Hollow are down. I love that glitch. So it's now a 3v6. In which I wouldn't even say that Sky Rangers had to fight too hard for the win here. They just managed to hold range, and that's all they were able to, and that's all they had to do against these ER large boats. Because Merc wasn't able to get a narc off, and everybody he was able to hold locks on was just outside of maximum range, SROT didn't even have to fight that hard for the win. CMP doing his best to survive. And now it's just down to Merc in the Raven and House in the Crusader. Both are heavily damaged. Fort coming in behind the Crusader to get a back shot. House goes down. It's now just to Merc. And that is GG. I'm gonna be honest. DSC lost that in the mech lab. DSC lost that before their mechs came out of the dropships. Yeah. There are plenty of maps a Lurm strat can work. Or at least a full, like, dedicating 300 tons to Lurms. I don't think Alpine is that match. Especially if you're going to play it like that. Where your Narc Raven doesn't even get a single Narc off. The sensor range boost he offered was good, but not near enough to make a difference. Hollow farming 723 damage with 4 LRM-20s, no Artemis, and yet not a single kill towards anyone in DSC, and that's what non-Artemis LRMs can do. Of course, if you have like a single Lurm awesome, and you have a 2-cap, and you make the enemy push, that can be a very powerful play. But yeah, I just don't really know how to sugarcoat it. Yeah, I really don't know what to say. They could have won it if the Raven got in. Actually, no, I don't think they could have won it because it would have taken the Fafnirs too long to close. SROT had a Stalker and a Corsair sitting on the back of the map, far outside of LRM range. So I don't really see a way in which SROT could have lost that, to be honest. Like, maybe if DSC had one Lurm boat and had something quicker, like an awesome, that would have been able to do it. But three Fafnirs, you just sacrifice too much. And now that SRT has used up 2 of their Stalkers and 2 of their Corsairs, they will probably have to bring some Battle Masters, which is the backup weapon of the Stalker. Personally, I like the Battle Master more. It has a special place in my heart, but that's just because I have a Phoenix Battlemaster and I don't own a Phoenix Stalker because they don't exist. So I like the Battlemaster more, but the Stalker, when it comes to pure ER large assaults, is truly the end-all be-all of ER large traders. And yeah, uh, SROT having 2 players leave the lobby, probably just going to rebuild their mechs. Meanwhile, DSC has 1 player going to rebuild their mech as well. I see these teams want to get into Div A, which means that they're going to try to take as long as they can in between drops. I respect it and I applaud it. And DSC is locked. And SRT is locked. DSC now bringing a conventional drop deck: Commando, Wolfhound, Corsair, Stalker, Stalker, Corsair. Going with the good old ER large Goss deck. Sky Rangers of Terra bringing a Battlemaster, Locust, Stalker, Corsair, Enforcer. What's on the Enforcer? Ah, a true Chad.
Kappa is under enemy control. We have gained Epsilon.
Boy, Sigma once again going to Team 1. I don't know why, but Team 2 just seems to be allergic to Sigma tonight. Merc J running for it in the Commando B. Interesting Commando. Why the 1B? Oh, triple light beat. Interesting build. Alrighty. Other than that, Darksea Corsair is just sort of turtling on to Epsilon, not even moving that far inward. What does Royal Star have in his Wolfhound? 3 ER large Wolfhound. Huh. I would have preferred the 2 since it can run the range quirk with the 3. I mean, the heat quirk with the 3 ER larges. Sky Rangers suddenly deciding they do want to take Sigma and are moving in to get control of it. You have Forked Spoon Wrecker going wide in his ER large Locust to try to get angles on Merc. Merc is falling back, not even wanting to fight for the cap. I think he's relying on his 2 mechs on top of the H4 hill to hold it. However, if they do not get up for shots in time, the Locust is going to take it for free. Merc coming up to defend it. Locust is pushed back just a little bit due to a strike. Merc has not hit a light PPC shot yet, though, so it's not enough to stop the cap. There's one thing that you have to give to the ER larges. There are much better at denying caps due to being hit scan. Sky Rangers of Terra, Enforcer, and Battlemaster have made it on top of the mountain. Enforcer's a very interesting pick to go up there because its guns are all in the arms and very low slung, so he has to expose his entire mech to poke from the top of the hill. Meanwhile, Hollow and Royal Star are not quite interested in giving up the hill yet. Still going to contest them with a Corsair and a Wolfhound. The Corsair is actually not even looking at them. He's just trusting the Wolfhound to cover his rear. Then let's see how things are looking over here. Fork is down to 87%. Where have you taken your damage? Just probably two light peep salvos on the same side. Anyways, Fork's gotta be a little careful about that. Let's see how well everybody's hitting their shots. Where is local? Interesting fire groups. Cayman.
We've already gained a quarter of the resources. Keep it up.
Apostle Burke up top. He sees everything, but is he going to make a move for it, though? That's a little out of your range there, buddy. Apostle's trying to get shots. Gray Fox trying to move in and get shots as well. He needs to get a little more aggressive. He needs to go to the hill that he's looking at right now. Oh. Ooh, almost getting the back kill on Royal Star. Royal Star was a split second slower. But now everybody's looking at him. So, oh no, Gray Fox. No. Open CT due to a shutdown. That is not what you want to see. And now he's backing off. One of the pinnacle mistakes Gray Fox made here. Oh no, Radiocast. One of the critical mistakes Gray Fox made here was not moving to cover, just staying in the open. Gray Fox trying to play his life now, but now he's living a life of fear. Merc J just orange everywhere. Dark Sea still have a 3 cap. I mean, still have a 2 cap. Chicken Man moving up in his Corsair to try to solidify that 3 cap. Nobody going to try to take the cap? I mean, the way the match is going, it's going to go out to a cap win again. Gray Fox moving up to get better lines. Is he aware of Hollow's Corsair just sitting there at the bottom? I hope he is. Gonna be honest. If Sky Rangers doesn't make a play or get a kill here real soon, I don't think they're going to win. Local Man Steel's mech is still at 96%. Black Cayman's still at 86%. These guys need to move up and get shots, share armor, scream at the sky, something. Because your mech cannot be that fresh when you are 200 tickets behind on caps. SROT needs to make a play immediately. Gadolinium drops hollow. Well, he was sitting down there in the middle of nowhere, so... Fork coming up. Oh, running into Merc J. Merc J was coming in, trying to make a play on Kappa, it seems. However, Fork manages to thwart that. Fork, though, being a little careful about his open side, so trying very hard not to get hit, not putting as much focus into his damage. Fork just trying to consolidate Kappa just a little bit. How is Fork looking in health, though? Oh. I see you're doing great. I see you're doing even better. Don't know why you're going for Kappa and not one of the other caps, though. Just gonna point that out real quick. SROT. Looks like they're moving up to make a play for Sigma. Maybe. Hopefully. These guys need the cap if they want to win. Local Man Steel's mech still at 95%. I don't know if the enemy team is allergic to shooting him or what, but yeah. Local Man Steel's mech needs to take some aggro for Black Cayman before Black Cayman dies. Chicken Man down to 51%. He is halved. Local Man Steel's mech coming to the kill. SROT missed the memo about needing to get the cap in order to win. Grey Fox drops Royal Star. That's 2 mechs down on Dark Sea Corsairs, but Dark Sea Corsairs is still burning time. As long as they have these mechs up there, as long as they can hold the caps, they're fine. Chicken Man goes down. Grey Fox goes down. SROT still not getting Sigma. Oh, Fork is finally doing it. Fork is finally getting the cap. Good for you, Fork. I'm proud of you. However, I'm just going to point this out. Dark Sea Corsairs still wins with 1 cap if they manage to survive until the end of the match. So here's what I would do if I was Red Baron. I would sit down. I would sit down right here, right where my camera is. So the only thing I can see is Epsilon. I stop the cap, and I live, and I play until the end of the match. It's 1 ticket every 1.75 seconds, which means that if he survives for another 3 minutes, around 3 minutes, and holds on to Epsilon, he wins. But he needs to stay alive. He manages to drop Black Cayman. However, Apostle Burke is now in the cap. Red Baron needs to realize that and move into place to stop the capture. Oh, no. Merc is getting Kappa, but it doesn't matter if Red Baron doesn't get the cap. Red Baron is going to cost his team the match if he does not defend Epsilon, and Epsilon has been neutralized. So unless Merc gets this kill, Red Baron will have cost his team the match. Merc is a stick. So Red Baron, by not denying the Epsi cap sooner, just cost his team the match. And SROT now has a free win. Shame on you, Red. Shame on you. Yeah. SRT wins. Is GG. Fork finally dropping Merc. Red Baron walking in. However, it's too little, too late. Even if he managed to take the cap right now, he'd still win, but not enough. GG. Darksea had it right up until the last minute, and then that single throw cost them the match. I am slightly disappointed, not gonna lie. Let's look at these stats before we call it. Come on, StatBot, load. Already looking at the stats. Red Baron getting top on his team, 543. Unsurprising, he was the last alive. Gadolinium getting 618 damage and 2 kills. Bottom damage going to Merc in 220 in the commando. For a triple light peep commando is actually pretty impressive. And bottom going to 207, Fork the Spoon Wrecker in his Locust 1v. So that is all she wrote. Make sure to tune in tomorrow at 20 UTC for 20 UTC tomorrow, or noon PST, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 20 UTC. We have 2 Div A drops, Aben against 5 JDX and JGX Equilibrium going on at the same time, and those drops will determine the outcome of Div A. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. Sorry for the radio cast. Had to iron out some kinks, and I